So while I was away from him, I was getting stronger. I was off that sugar, okay, gaining weight, true indeed, because I was still drinking that alcohol. And it's like when you go from one addiction to the other, trying to replace it with getting off something and then making excuses for the next one, it gets worse. It gets, one turns into two, two turns into four. So I got back out in the dating scene. I still was not fully healed, but I was trying to mature enough for, different reasons. All right, so here he comes again. The dating pool didn't work out for me. Not only was I alone, I was getting lonely because here I'm going, 35, 36, 37, 38. Now I'm 42 and I'm thinking, well, I wasn't 42 then, but I was thinking, is this shit ever going to work out? Am I ever going to find somebody that treats me the same way I treat them? Gives to me, doesn't cheat on me, has good communication skills when things aren't going the best in the relationship? Am I ever going to truly discover that? I've been giving my energy, my essence out, my heart out, my money out, my patience, and all that stuff started to run thin, and I started to give up on life again. And I knew his bullshit, how to get around it, what he was willing to do, and all the things. And I was willing to deal with that just so I wouldn't be alone. Because when he put his hands on me, the worst one was when he slapped me in front of my son. And I started to do something that put me in jail. Okay? He made excuses, talk about it was my fault. But the reality was, and the reality is that he's a person that does not know how to control his temper. These are the things that he has seen growing up, because these things are learned behaviors. Okay? He's got a lot of people that go both ways or one way with the same, and not saying anything's wrong with that, but in his family. So there is definitely some bullshit there. Okay? All right. And when I decided I was not going to sit around and get my ass whooped by him, okay, or anyone else, that's when I started fighting back. And when you start fighting back, they stop putting their hands on you, especially if they know they can go to jail for doing so. But he would try it every now and again, especially when he couldn't get his way and he was on cloud nine. And when I started motherfucker tearing his ass up, because I started getting sick of that, I realized that it's not because he didn't deserve it, because he damn sure did and some. But he was trying to get me out of character to get me caught up again. Because you get domestic DV on your that's a hard thing to erase. All right. I also looked up his record and found out he's got a lot of that shit. Okay, on his a lot of bullshit on his record. All right. DV, impersonating an officer. Okay. Out here in the streets on that whack. And just doing the most, and wanted me to have a fucked up record like him. And he know he was doing things to provoke me to go there with him. These are the things that get you caught up in life that don't allow you to get good jobs. You have to be forced to open your own business. But if you don't have any capital because you don't have money saved up, you're depending on someone else who doesn't want you to see you succeed. These are the kinds of things that ruin your life and don't allow for opportunities to get to you in the way in which you do. Then you're still on the healing journey. You're learning about yourself. You're facing your traumas. It doesn't feel good. And you haven't completely stopped all of your bad habits. That's what gets you to spiral out of control, especially when it's a full moon and you feeling a lot of shit. And it's just goddamn crazy. It is. He started stalking me, y'all, at my job. I had to block his ass off of social media. He threatened to take his own life when I left. And he kept running through my gated community, all right, with his Tahoe, running through the white thing, trying to chase me down, trying to chase me at work, knocking on my door all times of night, just on cloud nine or wanting to get something. He would always show up to my door with some sugar or a bottle or both. They always want to take you out to dinner, buy you something, try to make up for it, give you a couple $20 bills, and if it's payday, maybe a couple of $100. You get roped in by that. They tell you how they miss you, they love you, they're a changed person. You already know this person because you've been with them forever. And then you go back to that same cycle. And each time that I went back, it got worse and worse and worse. Not just his behavior, because his behavior was the same for the most part. Okay? It's now that my eyes are open to it, that my spirit is aligning with the Most High, that my body is repulsed by being around all the negativity. Hold on. My cortisone levels are going up because I'm getting so irritated. My skin's breaking out. He always wanted to eat goddamn Chipotle, hot dogs, and shit like that. He's always eating junk food. Okay. With all that bullshit he got going on medically. All right. And he's the one in charge of buying the food because I'm depending on his money, so I'm eating what he's buying. Okay. The jobs ain't coming in because my energy is depleted and it's pushing away good opportunities, or I got good opportunities, fucked them up because I was drinking. Okay. Or I just didn't take them because I was too tired to get out of bed, or being complacent knowing he was going to have to pay the bills because he had to stay in the apartment and I wasn't working, taking advantage of that, but depending on him to give me what he said he was going to give me while he's all in my face screaming, calling me everything but the child of the Most High. Okay? Stay tuned for the rest.